Have you ever wondered if pleasure and intimacy change as we age? It's a question that many avoid, but it's one we need to address. As we get older, our bodies and desires transform, but that doesn't mean pleasure has to disappear. It can become more personal, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. In this video, we're going to uncover the truth about self-pleasure in senior years, what it means for emotional well-being, physical health, and relationships. You'll discover how maintaining a healthy connection with your body can improve everything from sleep to mental clarity, and even boost your self-esteem. We'll also dive into the risks of excessive self-pleasure and how to find a balanced, fulfilling path. By the end, you'll understand why exploring your desires in later years is just as important as ever, and how it can positively impact your overall health and happiness. Whether you're in your 50s, 60s, or beyond, this video will help you see pleasure in a whole new light. Don't miss it. Your well-being may depend on it. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. The topic of senior pleasure, especially masturbation, is often avoided, misunderstood, or outright ignored by society. It is a subject that many shy away from, wrapped in layers of cultural taboos, misconceptions, and sometimes even guilt or shame. Yet, it is an incredibly important and natural part of the human experience, regardless of age. Now, more than ever, it is essential that we address this topic openly, without embarrassment, and with the respect and understanding it deserves. The truth is simple. Pleasure does not vanish as we age. It can be richer, deeper, and more meaningful than ever before. Masturbation is much more than just a physical act of release. It is an intimate exploration of our desires, a way to connect with our bodies and a refuge for our emotional and mental well-being. It is a practice that allows us to calm our minds, relax our bodies, and rejuvenate our spirits. For older adults, especially those in the later stages of life, the process of sexual pleasure evolves, becoming more complex and nuanced. While physical changes inevitably occur, hormonal shifts, decreased sensitivity, and altered desires, the essence of pleasure remains. It simply transforms, adapting to the new reality of our bodies. This transformation is not something to fear or shy away from, but something to embrace. As we grow older, the body naturally undergoes a variety of changes. The youthful vigor and energy that once defined us slowly fade as hormonal levels decrease, and physical sensitivity diminishes. We may find that our desires no longer have the same intensity as they once did. But this does not mean that the capacity for pleasure disappears. Quite the opposite. It means that pleasure, now more than ever, can become a deeply personal, introspective, and meaningful part of our lives. Rather than chasing after youthful ideals of sexuality, older adults have the unique opportunity to explore new ways of experiencing pleasure, unfettered by the pressures and expectations of society. Masturbation becomes a way to rediscover ourselves, to reconnect with our bodies in a way that is not dependent on external validation or youthful standards. It becomes an act of self-connection, a quiet, intimate practice that fosters a sense of freedom and privacy. There is no longer the need to meet the expectations placed upon us by youth culture, which often idealizes youthful beauty, vigor, and sexual performance. Instead, older adults can experience their bodies in a new, more intimate way, focusing not on what was, but on what is. Pleasure at this stage of life is not about recapturing lost youth, but about embracing the changes in our bodies and learning to find joy in them. This shift is liberating. Masturbation in later years offers the opportunity to let go of guilt or shame that may have been ingrained in us during our younger years. It becomes a powerful tool for emotional release and mental well-being. The act of exploring one's body without judgment or expectation helps to reduce feelings of anxiety, stress, and depression. As we age, the emotional toll of life experiences, such as loss, illness, and the passage of time, can weigh heavily on us. Masturbation, as an expression of self-love and care, can offer relief from this emotional burden. It becomes a way to reclaim a sense of ownership over our bodies and our emotions, a way to nurture ourselves and find peace in a world that often seems to overlook or dismiss the needs of older adults. From a physical perspective, the benefits of masturbation for older adults are significant and well documented. Medical studies have shown that regular self-pleasure can help maintain circulation in the genital area, preventing atrophy, a common issue caused by decreased physical activity or lack of sexual engagement. The process of sexual arousal and orgasm stimulates blood flow, keeping tissues healthy and vibrant. This, in turn, can help prevent discomfort, dryness, or other physical issues that might arise from a lack of sexual activity. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But the physical benefits extend beyond just maintaining genital health. Masturbation is a form of self-care that holistically nurtures the body. Orgasm releases a surge of endorphins, natural mood boosters that alleviate stress, anxiety, and depression. These happiness hormones help improve overall emotional well-being and foster a sense of calm and contentment. As we age, it can be easy to feel disconnected from the world, but masturbation serves as a reminder that we are still vibrant, still capable of experiencing pleasure, and still deserving of joy. Perhaps one of the most significant benefits of masturbation in later years is its impact on sleep. Many older adults struggle with sleep-related issues, including insomnia and restless nights. This can have a profound impact on overall health, leading to fatigue, irritability, and even physical illness. The relaxation that follows orgasm can help to calm the mind and body, promoting deeper, more restful sleep. Studies have shown that older adults who engage in regular self-pleasure tend to report better sleep quality. This not only improves mood but also helps to maintain cognitive function, physical health, and emotional stability. The positive effects of good sleep ripple through every aspect of life, enhancing everything from mental clarity to immune function. Masturbation in later years also offers psychological benefits that should not be overlooked. As we age, it is common to experience a sense of loss of youth, vitality, and sometimes even sexual identity. Masturbation helps to combat these feelings by providing a sense of agency over one's body and desires. It serves as a reminder that sexuality is not limited to the young and that pleasure can be a lifelong journey. Far from being something to be ashamed of, masturbation in older age can be a profound affirmation of life, of our ability to still experience joy, and of our right to feel good in our bodies. Moreover, this act of self-pleasure can be empowering. It offers older adults a chance to reconnect with their bodies, explore new sensations, and reclaim a sense of sexual autonomy that may have been lost over the years. In doing so, it challenges the societal stigma that often surrounds aging and sexuality. Rather than viewing aging as a time of decline, masturbation serves as a celebration of the body's resilience and the enduring capacity for pleasure, even as the years pass. Masturbation in later life is a deeply valuable and essential practice, one that should be recognized for its numerous benefits, both physical and emotional. It is an act that helps maintain health, improves mood, reduces stress, and promotes emotional well-being. It is a testament to the fact that pleasure, far from being something that fades with age, only grows in richness and depth. By embracing this practice, older adults are not only taking care of their bodies but also honoring their emotional needs and embracing the fullness of life. The message is clear. Pleasure does not diminish with age. It transforms, deepens, and becomes an even more profound and essential part of the human experience. Masturbation has a psychological impact that is far more profound and intricate than we often recognize. It goes beyond being just a physical act. It serves as a deeply personal experience that can help individuals explore their bodies, enhance self-awareness, and cultivate self-compassion. For older adults in particular, masturbation can become a powerful tool for reclaiming control over their bodies, something that many fear they have lost as they age. The The physical changes that come with growing older often lead to feelings of disconnection from one's own body. What once felt like a source of strength and vitality can, with time, begin to feel unfamiliar, even frustrating. This sense of bodily alienation can be emotionally challenging, leading to a diminished sense of self-worth. In these circumstances, masturbation can act as a way to re-establish a sense of ownership and intimacy with one's physical being. It offers the possibility of reconnecting with the body on an emotional and sensory level, rather than viewing it as something that is no longer capable of providing pleasure or comfort. In a world that often makes older individuals feel invisible, vulnerable, and out of control, masturbation can become a sanctuary, a private, personal space where they can feel empowered again. It is an act of reclaiming control over one's body, at a time when the world may seem to have taken that control away. For those who may feel emotionally distanced from their physical selves due to aging, masturbation can be an opportunity to experience the body in a comforting, self-affirming way, helping to foster a renewed sense of connection with oneself. This emotional reconnection can be transformative. It can restore confidence, allow for the acceptance of physical changes, and encourage individuals to see their aging bodies through a compassionate and positive lens. It's a way of saying, I am still here, and my body still has value. However, like any activity that brings pleasure and satisfaction, masturbation must be approached with mindfulness and awareness. The key is balance. When used in moderation, it can be a healthy, empowering practice. But when it becomes excessive or compulsive, the potential emotional and physical consequences can outweigh any benefits. In some cases, masturbation may cease to be a positive experience, and it can turn into something that exacerbates feelings of frustration, isolation, or even self-loathing. Older adults, particularly, may experience a situation where the act of masturbation no longer provides the comfort or relief it once did. This may be because excessive stimulation can increase sensitivity, which may seem desirable at first, but ultimately leads to discomfort. Over time, the body may become less responsive, and it may take more intense or prolonged stimulation to achieve the same level of satisfaction. This diminishing return can be emotionally disheartening, leading individuals to feel like their bodies are no longer capable of providing pleasure or comfort, despite their efforts. The frustration that stems from this can be significant. For older adults who may already be grappling with the emotional challenges of aging, the loss of physical satisfaction can deepen feelings of inadequacy and anxiety. Instead of feeling empowered and self-assured, they may begin to feel helpless and disconnected, trapped in a cycle where nothing seems to satisfy them. It's a vicious cycle, where what was once a pleasurable, self-affirming act becomes a source of disappointment and frustration. It's important to acknowledge that these emotional consequences are just as significant, if not more so, than the physical ones. From my perspective, the most profound impact of masturbation on older adults is not physical, but emotional. In many cases, masturbation serves as a coping mechanism for a variety of emotional struggles. Loneliness, pain, depression, and anxiety are common challenges that older adults face, and as they age, they may find themselves with fewer social connections. Family dynamics may shift, and friends or loved ones may pass away or become distant, leaving a sense of isolation in their wake. In such circumstances, masturbation can become a temporary source of comfort, a way to alleviate the emotional pain of loneliness. It can offer a brief respite from the feelings of disconnection and abandonment that can accompany aging. In these moments, the act of masturbation may feel like the only way to feel physically and emotionally validated, to experience pleasure when it seems like the rest of the world has stopped providing it. But herein lies the danger. When masturbation becomes the only or primary source of comfort, it can create a deep emotional void. Instead of providing lasting relief, it may reinforce the cycle of loneliness and isolation. While it may temporarily fill the gap, it does little to address the underlying emotional issues that are at play. For older adults, this can lead to emotional dependency, where they begin to rely more and more on masturbation as a form of self-soothing, rather than seeking out other, more meaningful forms of emotional connection. The more one engages in this solitary act, the fewer opportunities they have to connect with others on a deep, meaningful level. The emotional void only grows larger as the reliance on masturbation increases, leaving them further isolated from the support and comfort that could be found in relationships with others. This is especially dangerous because, in many cases, this behavior goes unnoticed. Masturbation is a private, personal activity, and many people may not realize just how deeply it can impact the emotional health of older adults. It can be something that is kept hidden, leaving no room for others to offer support or intervention. In these cases, the act becomes a solitary coping mechanism, reinforcing feelings of isolation and emotional distance. The more someone retreats into the act of masturbation as a way to cope, the more difficult it becomes to re-establish meaningful connections with the outside world. The emotional toll can be significant, and it is often only recognized when the individual's isolation has reached a critical point. In my opinion, we must begin to address both the emotional and physical consequences of masturbation in older adults with greater sensitivity. While masturbation can be a healthy and self-affirming practice, it must not be seen as a replacement for emotional connection or a means of avoiding the deeper issues at hand. Older adults must be encouraged to seek out other avenues for emotional fulfillment, whether through family, friendships, community involvement, or even professional therapy. These connections provide a much-needed counterbalance to the feelings of isolation that can arise with aging. Masturbation, when used mindfully, can certainly be a source of comfort and empowerment, but it should never replace the emotional bonds that give life meaning. Social engagement, shared experiences, and emotional intimacy with others are irreplaceable, and they must be prioritized if we are to ensure that older adults live fulfilling connected lives. Masturbation, when practiced in moderation, is widely regarded as a natural and healthy way to express one's sexuality. It allows individuals to explore their bodies, understand their desires, and experience personal pleasure. For many, it's a form of self-care and a means of relaxation or stress relief. Numerous studies have shown that moderate masturbation can contribute to physical and mental well-being, helping to release built-up tension and promote a sense of relaxation. But as with any aspect of life, balance is essential. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. The act of self-pleasure can be beneficial, but when it shifts from a healthy form of expression to a coping mechanism, it may lead to unintended negative consequences. Overindulgence can gradually begin to replace vital human connections, creating emotional emptiness, social withdrawal, and a dangerous cycle of isolation. When this happens, it's heartbreaking to see how a behavior that was once healthy and fulfilling becomes a source of loneliness and frustration. Balance truly is the foundation of a fulfilling life, and it's critical to examine how to maintain that balance in all aspects of our physical and emotional health. As individuals age, their bodies go through numerous changes, and this can affect both physical and emotional well-being. For older adults, masturbation can become a form of physical relief, a way to maintain some autonomy and comfort when other aspects of their health may decline. The pleasure and sense of control that come with self-pleasure can be especially empowering in later years when physical intimacy with a partner may not be as frequent or fulfilling. It can also serve as a way to reconnect with one's body, helping to alleviate the discomforts of aging such as lower libido or physical aches. However, this relief should never be mistaken for a substitute for emotional or social connection. Masturbation, like any other form of self-soothing, is meant to complement, not replace, meaningful interactions with others. The danger arises when masturbation shifts from being a healthy, moderate practice to an excessive behavior used to escape feelings of loneliness, boredom, or emotional pain. As individuals use it to fill the void left by a lack of intimate relationships or emotional support, the act of self-pleasure can begin to exacerbate feelings of isolation. The initial relief or pleasure fades, and what remains is a profound sense of emptiness that no amount of physical gratification can fulfill. Emotional isolation can set in, and a person may find themselves withdrawing further from others, believing that self-pleasure is enough to meet their emotional needs. This pattern can leave them feeling more disconnected from the people around them, contributing to an overall decline in emotional and social health. It's crucial to recognize that finding balance in this area is a deeply personal journey. It requires self-reflection, honesty, and awareness. Many people find it difficult to accept that they may be using masturbation as a means to escape from emotional difficulties or to avoid intimacy with others. It can be uncomfortable to admit that we might be replacing genuine connection with self-pleasure, but it's a truth that must be faced to create a healthier relationship with both ourselves and others. Practicing self-compassion is key throughout this process. We must be kind to ourselves, especially when we recognize that we've fallen into an unhealthy pattern. It's essential to avoid self-judgment, as shame and guilt can perpetuate feelings of isolation, making it harder to break free from the cycle. Instead, we should aim to develop a balanced approach, one that honors both our need for self-pleasure and our need for connection with others. Unfortunately, many individuals seek self-pleasure as a substitute for emotional connection, affection, or support. Over time, they may withdraw from social circles and close relationships, believing that self-satisfaction is all they need to feel whole. They may become increasingly detached from the people around them, choosing solitude over interaction. This emotional withdrawal can be devastating, as it leaves individuals feeling more disconnected and emotionally distant, even from those they care about most. It's not just about physical pleasure anymore. It's about the emotional emptiness that self-pleasure can't fill. The act of masturbation may momentarily provide relief, but it can never replace the profound satisfaction that comes from genuine, loving relationships. This emotional isolation can be incredibly painful, and it can slowly spiral into a more profound sense of loneliness, depression, and even despair. Medical studies on masturbation and aging have provided insight into how this practice affects individuals, particularly older adults. From a clinical perspective, moderate masturbation is not harmful and can have several positive effects on health. It's been shown to reduce stress, improve sleep, and release endorphins that can lift mood. Moreover, it can help maintain pelvic floor health and improve circulation, both of which are important as people age. For some older adults, self-pleasure serves as a way to continue experiencing pleasure and intimacy in the face of physical changes or the loss of a partner. This, in itself, is an important form of self-care. However, when the practice becomes excessive or compulsive, it can have adverse effects. Excessive masturbation can lead to a range of negative physical and psychological consequences. It can contribute to mental and physical exhaustion, draining both sexual and overall energy. Over time, this depletion can leave individuals feeling fatigued, with little motivation to engage in other daily activities. Physical exhaustion can set in, making it harder to perform basic tasks, and mental fatigue can make it difficult to focus or remain productive. In extreme cases, individuals may become so consumed by the habit that they neglect other aspects of their lives, including relationships and responsibilities. This can create a vicious cycle, where the emotional void that led to excessive masturbation becomes deeper and more difficult to overcome. For older adults, this cycle can have even more serious repercussions. One of the key factors in maintaining good health as we age is staying active. Engaging in regular physical exercise, such as walking, swimming, or participating in sports, helps to maintain cardiovascular health, increase mobility, and build muscle strength. However, when excessive masturbation drains energy and motivation, individuals may find themselves opting for a more sedentary lifestyle. This lack of physical activity increases the risk of developing several health problems, including heart disease, muscle loss, and a decline in flexibility. Over time, these issues can compound, leading to more severe health challenges, such as mobility limitations, poor circulation, and chronic fatigue. This stark reality is a reminder of how important it is to maintain balance in all areas of our lives. We cannot afford to neglect our emotional or physical health in favor of any one behavior, whether it be masturbation, isolation, or avoidance of necessary activities. Life is about finding harmony, balancing personal needs with emotional connection, physical care, and mental well-being. By practicing mindfulness, self-compassion, and emotional honesty, we can foster healthier relationships with ourselves and others, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling and balanced life. As we grow older, We often focus on the physical changes that accompany aging, but it is equally crucial to consider the emotional and psychological aspects of this life stage, particularly when it comes to intimacy and sexuality. One aspect that deserves more attention is how self-stimulation, such as masturbation, can impact the emotional health and interpersonal relationships of older adults. This is a subject that many tend to shy away from, but it can significantly affect one's well-being and the quality of relationships in later years. For many older adults, the experience of living alone, especially after the loss of a partner, may lead them to turn to masturbation as a means of fulfilling their sexual needs. This may seem like a natural response, but it's important to recognize the deeper emotional consequences that this behavior can have, especially in the context of loneliness and isolation. While masturbation can offer a sense of physical relief, it's critical to understand that it doesn't replace the emotional satisfaction that comes from intimate human connection. In long-term relationships, particularly in the later stages of life, intimacy often evolves. When couples have been together for many years, the nature of their sexual relationship changes, but the emotional closeness should ideally remain intact. However, frequent or compulsive masturbation can subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, begin to replace the intimacy that once existed between partners. This can be a slow, insidious process, where the physical closeness that partners once shared is gradually replaced by the individual pursuit of pleasure. This shift can lead to a growing emotional distance between partners. When one partner frequently turns to self-stimulation rather than engaging in mutual physical affection, the other partner may begin to feel neglected, unloved, or even rejected. The once shared experiences of affection, tenderness, and love may become overshadowed by the solitary act of self-pleasure. Over time, this distance can erode the very foundation of the relationship. What was once a deep connection, sustained by mutual care, love, and respect, may begin to feel like an empty shell, with both partners longing for the emotional fulfillment that seems out of reach. In many cases, this can create a dangerous cycle. One partner's increasing reliance on masturbation may make the other partner feel emotionally disconnected, leading them to withdraw further. This withdrawal can create a vicious loop where both partners, though still physically present, are emotionally distant from each other. This sense of isolation can be incredibly painful, especially as older adults are already dealing with the challenges of aging, such as physical decline, the loss of friends and loved ones, and the inevitable changes in daily life that come with growing older. When intimacy falters, and partners feel like strangers to each other, it exacerbates feelings of loneliness, frustration, and emotional deprivation. On the other hand, for those who are aging alone, the absence of a partner can make masturbation an even more common outlet for sexual expression. While this is not inherently problematic, it is essential to recognize that the absence of human connection can lead to a deepening sense of isolation and even despair. Many older individuals may turn to masturbation as a way to cope with loneliness or unmet desires, but the lack of intimacy can lead to a growing sense of emotional emptiness. In this case, the person may experience fleeting moments of physical pleasure but continue to feel emotionally unfulfilled, which can take a toll on mental health. In all relationships, especially those in later life, finding balance is crucial. Masturbation should not replace the emotional and physical intimacy that bonds two people together, nor should it be used as a substitute for real connection. When practiced in moderation and a healthy context, self-stimulation can be an additional aspect of sexual expression that enhances a relationship, rather than detracting from it. It should always be seen as something that complements, rather than competes with, the emotional closeness and shared experiences that make a relationship meaningful. When this balance is achieved, both partners can continue to nurture their bond and ensure that their connection remains strong, fulfilling, and emotionally enriching. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. However, achieving this balance can be particularly challenging for older adults who were raised in environments where sexuality was often stigmatized or deemed shameful. For individuals who grew up with these deeply ingrained beliefs, the act of masturbation may trigger feelings of guilt or self-judgment. These internalized feelings of shame are powerful and can lead to a painful conflict between the desire for pleasure and the belief that such actions are morally or socially unacceptable. After engaging in masturbation, individuals may experience intense feelings of guilt, shame, or regret, which can create a significant emotional burden. The emotional consequences of this internal conflict can be severe. The struggle between wanting to experience pleasure and the belief that such behavior is sinful or inappropriate can create profound psychological tension. These deeply ingrained beliefs can manifest as feelings of unworthiness, self-loathing, and a diminished sense of self-respect. This internal struggle can be particularly acute in older adults, who may feel as though they are losing their sense of identity or their place in society. The conflict between these opposing forces, pleasure versus guilt, can erode a person's mental and emotional health, making it difficult for them to feel at peace with themselves. This internal battle can also exacerbate feelings of loneliness and isolation, as individuals who are already emotionally vulnerable may feel trapped in a cycle of self-judgment and shame. The more they try to reconcile their natural desires with the moral framework they have internalized, the more trapped they may feel. This can lead to a deep sense of isolation, as the person may withdraw from others, not wanting to share their struggles or admit to the internal conflict they are experiencing. This emotional isolation can be a heavy burden to bear, particularly as one grows older and may feel more disconnected from the world. The consequences of this constant internal conflict extend beyond mere emotional discomfort. Over time, the feelings of guilt and shame can develop into more serious mental health issues, such as depression and anxiety. The emotional distress caused by this internal battle can negatively impact a person's self-esteem and overall quality of life. When someone feels constantly at war with themselves, it can lead to a sense of hopelessness and despair. This, in turn, can perpetuate a cycle of emotional and psychological deterioration, as the person may become more withdrawn, less likely to seek help, and less able to form new emotional connections. The toll of these emotions on one's mental and emotional well-being can be profound. It is heartbreaking to think that something as natural as the desire for intimacy and connection can become the source of such pain and distress. Older adults, who have lived through so much in life, should be able to enjoy their later years with a sense of peace and acceptance, free from the weight of guilt or shame. We must acknowledge and address these issues with compassion, understanding, and a commitment to creating supportive environments where people can feel comfortable exploring their sexual health without fear of judgment or rejection. As we come to the end of this discussion, we've explored a topic that often goes unspoken but is incredibly important for our emotional well-being and relationships, especially as we age. We've delved into how self-stimulation can affect not only our physical health but also our emotional connections with others. Whether it's the emotional distance it can create in intimate relationships or the internal conflict it may trigger, understanding these dynamics is essential for maintaining a healthy, balanced life. So, what have you learned so far? Is there something new that's resonated with you about intimacy, self-care, or emotional health as we age? We'd love to hear your thoughts and reflections. Please share one key takeaway from today's video and how you plan to apply it in your own life in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more valuable content. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful discussions. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments.